Alrighty, good morning, Retrothon 2025. I will be doing the next speedrun for you, the Escape from Monkey Island. And really quickly, I want to introduce my Cool Kids commentary crew. That's 4Ks for you. Let's start with the Woofs. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hello, I'm the Woofs. I'm going on the record of saying Escape from Monkey Island is a very good game. And that's my intro.
Very good. And we also have one more very special guest. We have world record holder Casey Adventure. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thanks, Spade. Yeah, very excited to see Escape being run. Always excited to see frozenspade running it. So this is going to be great.
All right, and so really quickly before we get started, one more thing I wanted to mention. This is the unofficial sequel to 2 years ago on Retrothon 2023. I did a back-to-back-to-back Secret of Monkey Island, Monkey Island 2, and The Curse of Monkey Island. So I sorry I missed it last year, but we're back again here to show you the fourth game in the series. This is Escape from Monkey Island. So I think we're going to go ahead and just get started here and see what happens. So let's select new game here. Oh. And then I have to hit yes. I would like to restart the game. Okay. So time is going to start on first input. And I think we're going to go right into it in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so there's a little trick here right off the start. Right off the start there. I got it. There you see, we were kind of picking up. So we knocked over this thing and picked up the coal while we were still walking over. Okay, so this is just kind of the little intro tutorial section of the game there.
You have all the tools to escape now.
Yes, Act 1. Things to do on Melee Island when you're dead. So right there, we just did a little, it's not even trick, it's just a built-in hotkey to quickly exit a room, which is obviously for the speedrun a huge bit of tech to know when to go in and out of things. So the first thing we're going to do here is talk to our future navigator, Ignatius Cheese. So somebody want to explain insult arm wrestling really quick while I focus here for a second.
Sure. Yeah, this is kind of unique. It works a little bit differently than insult sword fighting from some of the earlier games. Basically, you pick an insult, and either Cheese will know the answer or he won't know the answer. It's just straight up like that. And you're only insulting him. He does never, or he does insult us back, but it's kind of just a random draw if he knows it or not. And it's never the first one, right, Casey? It's always like the second or third that he starts forgetting answers to try to beat him.
It's weird. Suddenly he starts throwing, but when that happens, it's fairly random. This looks like it's a pretty difficult. It's a pretty difficult draw on the RNG here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes he's easier to crack. Sometimes he's a bit tougher.
Yeah, he's being not nice to me right now. There he goes.
There we go.
Jeez Louise.
Nice one.
Okay, so we're actually
the upside of this for the real, like, you know, if you're doing like world record attempts, at least this is right out of the gate, kind of the big, like monkey combat aside, the big RNG blocker. So that's kind of nice.
All right, we got past it though. So we get these dart players to pop that balloon to knock out this pirate, so we can steal his pretzels.
I guess he won't be
needing these anymore. All right. So one more important thing to know, we're actually playing on version 1.0 of the game, and that lets us do a couple things differently. And so the little slidey trick at the very beginning was part of that 1.0 release here. Okay, so we're going to run, we're going to do the behind the bush. Okay, so I have this rubber tire. Stick it on here. There we go. So our first mission here is to get this guy to stop shooting catapults at our house. Okay, so we have to wait for him to load the boulder here. Kind of line it up here. There we go.
One of the harder parts of this game is trying to get Guybrush to look at the things that you want him to look at, and that's one of the first times you really have to deal with that. trying to get him in line with Guybrush's eyes.
Yeah, but it looked like it worked out there. Casey, can I have you explain a little bit about how the controls work for this game?
Yeah, so this is tank controls, not like the previous LucasArts games with point and click. You have tank controls here, or you can sort of do it any other sort of 3D platformer style. You press up and it goes up, you press right and it goes right, but with the camera changes, that can be pretty difficult. We've got a whole bunch of different camera angles coming up that Spade will have to navigate, so this is a slightly tricky one.
Yeah, but I use the special Spade strat. Oh, not that one.
Oh, of course. He switches control schemes for this house and also for a diving board later on, I think.
That's right.
Very clever. But yeah, they've kept the pixel hunting from other LucasArts games, only now it's in 3D. So a big difficulty in the speedrun is to try and get Guybrush to actually see the things that you want to interact with. But you managed that very, very well with picking up the contract.
Yeah, it was... Didn't quite line it up right off the bat, but we were able to quickly adjust and get it there. Okay, nice.
I feel like that particular puzzle, the finding the contract in the back, took me like months as a kid to figure out. Because there's a red herring contract as well. That's
oh, that's right.
Pretty rough. Yeah.
That's some familiar looking pirates here.
Oh,
Didn't we share a cruise to Monkey Island once? That's right. It is Carla and Otis from Monkey Island 1. So we're going to do a little bit of tech here where we're opening the inventory and we're assigning one item a hotkey that we will be using later. In fact, our first instance of it is right now. So this is a bit of tech where anytime you'll be using an item multiple times. Oop, there we go. It's usually will be worth it to hotkey in the inventory, or if you're passing by on their way to another item, you can hotkey things, save a little bit of time. Okay, so here we are on the next island, and so where are we now, Casey?
Yeah, this is Luca Island, the first proper new island of Escape from Monkey Island. I think it's quite a nice one. It's quite a bright island, and our quest at the start is just to find some lawyers, but then pretty quickly that changes as we come here to the bank.
Yeah, and so we got a cool trick coming up here in just a second. Do you want to explain that to us, Casey?
So this is the second instance of this animation layering. All animations in Escape from Monkey Island have 3 parts. First, Guybrush moves to the location, and then there's a sort of pre-animation before the main animation. And there's a tiny gap between that stage 2 and stage 3 where you can sort of sometimes do other things. So in this instance, Spade is going to add one of the sponges to the door.
As long as I don't mess it up.
And then just before, it's a really tight window on all of these tricks. Just before he puts the sponge in, he's going to get out the grog, and that will mean that Guybrush will both put in the sponge and get out the grog at the same time.
Okay, that should have worked.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That looked good. That's called animation layering. You get both. You get 2 actions for the price of 1.
Very good. All right. So, leaving the Hall of Justice, skipping over all the story. We'll do some story recaps in a minute. Heading over to the House of Sticks. So I think this is the first instance we get to really meet the main antagonist of the game, Ozzy Mandrill. So Ozzy Mandrill is like a business tycoon type character trying to do a takeover of the Caribbean and get rid of all the pirates. And as a mighty pirate ourselves, we just can't be having that. So we gotta stop that guy.
I'm not picking that up.
There we go.
hey, stop that.
Stop that.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, so we're setting up here this empty perfume bottle to have a special fragrance to help us track down one of the other antagonists in the game, Pegnose Pete.
There, that should make my...
Aye.
Here we are on Ozzy Mandrill's mansion here.
Not.
Hockey this, pull this out, spray the cologne on the platypus here.
As you do.
Which at this point, I
Yeah,
don't
the route
even...
for
Yeah, go ahead.
the route for Lucre. I was going to say that the route for Lucre had changed quite a bit. Like when I originally picked this one up, there was
that should make the concoction
kind of
smell interesting.
an initial pass on the route that a lot of runs had. Then a runner High Performance came through and rerouted it, and then I started running this, and then Casey and a few others jumped in, and there's kind of a newer pass on this particular one. And I know that since I've stopped running this, the later islands have also gotten cooked up a little bit, and I'm excited to see
Jerry
it.
Wendy Jet.
But yeah, this has a very particular route to try to maximize kind of the value and you know, the least amount of stops while getting the most things.
Okay, doing a quick 1.0 trick here. By pulling out the music box and putting it away quickly, we actually get to like really speed that section up. Okay, sorry, I'm focusing here. Jerry.
Yeah, this is a random puzzle, basically.
Jed. Let's see if I got it right. Show me the
We're looking
skin.
for a... Yeah, trying to get that skin there. It is random, the 3 names that are underneath the manhole cover.
Say hi.
Hello!
It's actually,
We have an alternative... Oh, go ahead, Casey.
I think there might be the most RNG in Escape compared to of all the Monkey Island games. There's a lot of RNG in this run. There's different sections of it.
Certainly the most consequential, I think, of RNG. Because they're...
Other
There's
than
tons of
the
it. I
big
feel
one.
like in... Well, yeah.
It controls that
But just
light.
there's tons of it in Monkey Island too, but it's not always like the you know, most... Yeah, it doesn't shake the run as much till the very end. But this one, you're right. I feel like there's a lot of big pieces here where you need to be paying attention. Between that and you got the Mists of Time coming up, and it really is a different run every time.
It is. Let's see if I can get a little bit of swag note. Can start moving while picking up that scupperware, but didn't quite get it there. It's a secret item we'll need for later. Oh, get the line up. There we go.
Yeah.
Here.
So the puzzle here is to wait. These two people playing chess, we gotta wait until they pick up a piece. We gotta distract both of them so that they make a mistake. Because we need this clock here for a very important puzzle coming up. So we're gonna get a good... So these guys will sling an insult at each other as we leave.
You call.
And it's random which one you'll get. Let's see here.
Doily sniffer.
Doily Sniffer. There we go. Very good. That's a
Classic.
fun one. Oh, there's Carla. Hi, Carla. Don't have time to talk to Carla today. We gotta go fast. Okay, but we also need a duck. Because as it... Oh, duck. He moved one step as I was going to pick him up. Okay, well... Do this, do this. And if I did that right, I got a little bit of animation layering there. Nice.
Yeah, the ordering is really important here.
Yeah, hopefully I got it all right. I think we're good. Okay, so quicker to go all the way out to the map and then back in, which is closer to the Palace of Prostisi. So this cologne, this special perfume we've been concocting here, is so that Deadeye Dave, the pirate with 2 eye patches, can identify the scent. So let's see here. What do we get? NDE. NDE. Is that one bun?
It's a single
I think
bun,
it's a
right?
single bun.
Yeah, we got a bun.
Okay. So
Yeah, more RNG.
I said
and the
N,
more
right?
buns, the better.
N. Was that it? N. D. E. Is this right? Let's see. Did I mess it up? We'll find out.
Lots of names that you can get as possibilities, and some of them are Easter eggs as well.
It's some sort. There are directions to Peg Nose
Apologies
Beach
for the
House.
Windows
Weird.
noises.
Looks more like a train schedule to me.
Okay, I'm just taking a screenshot of this for later. That way I don't have to keep constantly referencing it. So we're going to go here. I'm going to hotkey this. I'm going to flip around, hotkey that, grab the clock. Just clock with the raft. Okay. So let's see here. So we have 12, 15. That's a north. Okay. So ideally, we want more east-west directions than north and south. However, we are not lucky today. I have one west, and the rest are norths and souths. Okay, we have 135.
That's rough.
That's another north. Okay, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. Marathon luck striking again here. Let's see. So we have 250. This is the one west.
Hey,
Okay.
Guybrush, I need.
So we have this puzzle here, and you have to be very careful with this puzzle, because if you mess up this section, Guybrush taking his time. Hello, second Guybrush. If you mess this up, you have to start all the way over. And there's 2 pieces to this puzzle.
Here, take this.
So I have to remember a couple pieces of information. Let's see what we get here.
What do you think it's for? Oh,
Dummy. Okay, remember that dummy. So he's going to give us some items, and we need to give him back the items later. But we're going to use the skeleton key. No. Am I supposed to talk to him first? Am I getting ahead of myself?
Yeah,
I
you need
am.
the number first.
69.
69. Nice. Okay,
Nice.
now I pull out the skeleton key. That was almost very dangerous, but I caught myself. Okay, dummy 69 are the 2 bits of information we need to remember. Okay. It's a really cool puzzle, but really frustrating to learn how to
Thanks,
solve
Guybrush.
it, I would say. So what's our time
Yeah.
here?
Oh, I've got one more.
110. We're going south. Okay, this is not a bad spot to get a south on, though.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, and this is more RNG, so you really have to keep your focus here.
Yes. Okay, we get... Where is it? 340 is south, so that's fun. So I think it's south and then south again. Because this is 115. Yep, that's south. You can watch where the second Guybrush comes from, because we become the second Guybrush.
I need-
Okay, let me be careful here. Oop. Line it up. There we go.
No, you'll call.
Oops. I got one step ahead of myself. First, give Guybrush the skeleton key. And then we have to say the line that he said to us.
Here, take this. What?
I'm looking for dummy. There it is. Oh, it's too early. No, give it to Guybrush. Why was the verb not line up there? That was odd.
Yeah, that's weird. This is definitely like the high stakes portion of this run,
It
though,
is,
because
yeah, and
like Spade said, like it's very costly if we get knocked out of here, and the ordering is so particular.
Yeah, there's the tiniest bit of leeway. I made one small mistake, but it ended up being fine. Okay.
I find having to read an analog clock isn't always a skill that I use very much anymore. So using that for this puzzle is pretty tricky as well.
Yeah, we're bringing back analog clocks for Retrothon 2025. Okay, 210. Yeah, that should be
Retro clock.
south. There was 5 souths. Okay, hands off. Don't break the
Yeah,
game
hands off
here.
Can get stuck. This looks good though.
I should have safety saved, but we're
up there.
We're running it fast and loose.
I hear some
Okay,
people talking.
we're good.
This is real gaming here. Very
Okay,
good.
and shout outs to the duck. Boop, we got a duck.
The duck probably more powerful than the ultimate insult, I would assume.
Yeah. So there's Pegnose Pete, dressed funnily like us. Huh, that's odd. Anyways, but he's scared of ducks,
Well,
which works out for us. And cutscene right here, skip. Okay, back to the House of Sticks. So now that we've dealt with Pegnose Pete, we can kind of go taunt. Oh, what's his name? Ozymandias. So we have to kind of find a way to follow Ozymandias. So we're getting these. We took our prosthetic wooden hand covered with termites, to transfer the termites to Ozzy's walking stick. This is going to let us trail him later. Now you see he lifts little piles of sawdust behind him. Okay, back to the mansion. That's a LucasArts reference for you. Okay, wait for the camera angle and then switch directions. There he is, Ozzy.
I'm.
And 4, and this one. So no skipping this cutscene. We gotta walk Ozzy, walk all the way out. So I'm gonna take a drink here.
While we take a drink, I just want to shout out this island for having pretty cool puzzles across the whole board. I know a lot of people tend to look at this game and just remember Monkey Combat. Pretty polarizing part of the game, but I really do feel that Lucre Island has a lot of interesting things that it's trying to do. Really enjoy this island a lot.
Yeah, I think Lucre Island is fun. Okay, here's an instance of trying to get Guybrush to face the thing you want him to face. We're just going to take it nice and slow. There we go. And another animation layering. We're going to combine these items and then pull this out. And so while Guybrush is T-posing, floating down, he's going to swoop, pull this out. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so we're hoping for a fast fish. Okay, there they come. A little farther away. I probably can maybe get in here. Okay, so we need one of these glowing fish to be captured so we can see the entrance to the secret lair. Okay. Pick it up, Guybrush. So we need this. Okay, so that's our evidence to prove our innocence so that we can escape Lucre Island. Got stuck on the train there. Interesting. So we're going to run back to the Hall of Justice. Yeah, we've kind of been mostly glossing over the story, but we have like a little secret ankle bracelet thing that's keeping us trapped here. Itty bitty brass screw. So this places Peg-Nose Pete at the scene of the crime.
The screw is the one that you want to do too, because you can give him a bunch of the other evidence that you have, but for the speedrun, the screw just cuts right to the chase, which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Act 2. Enter the manatee. So, in fact, spoilers, no manatees are featured in this part of the speedrun, but we're back on Melee Island. Yay! Everybody loves Melee Island, except for me. Hot take, I'm sick and tired of Melee Island. Okay, we're gonna go visit our good old buddy from the first game, Meat Hook.
I think this setting is lovely. I think you can say a lot about the graphics, but I think this little scene here with the melted wax and stuff, I think it looks really nice.
It does.
It's very cozy and warm and yeah, I don't know. This is definitely one of the highlights for sure. I agree.
But of course, we're in the speedrun. We're there for 3 seconds and then we're off. We've got places to be.
And it went pretty well, but that's some of the trickier lineups to do. Get Guybrush to face the right way. Look at that. Pick up the quarter. This quarter with brag machine. There we go.
It's.
So we get to yell at the grog machine.
Give me back my quarter.
And then, there he is. Out pops the grog. So we'll need this for later. So pick up some grog any second now. And there it is. Okay, so now we're going to head back to Melee Town. But there's going to be one stop, and then we're going to see something a little different about Melee Town this go around. We got to go talk to our old friend, the Voodoo Lady. Also, there's Elaine. Hi, Elaine. See if I can get this lined up. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, that was really nice. That was great finding that finger.
Yeah, let me double check is it 3? Yeah, 3, and then 2.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird dialogue tree. So you kind of have to go through 2 of them. It's not always obvious that you're kind of entering into either of them, really.
So this is a chest we picked up back on Lucre Island. Hi, Elaine. Okay, I'm gonna go wide here. There we go. And we're going back. Oh, where's the scum bar? Scum bar has, in fact, been changed to the Lua bar. Okay, tricky strat here.
These bars, somehow that just doesn't seem right.
Casey, do you want to explain what we're gonna do here?
Yeah, this is a high stress strat. So you're going to order food, and then quickly stand up. He's going to do something else, and then hopefully get back to his seat before the food arrives. So he can do something with the food. But just as in real life, if you were to order food and then walk away and do something else and hope that it's there in time when you get back. And he, oh yeah, pulled it off really nicely.
Lots of time. Lots of time.
Loads of time.
Okay, speaking of time, this is a bit of a timing puzzle. But we should be good. Looks good.
It passes the eye test here. Need to have the fire in front of that painting there. There's another tough one here because you also need to rush into the kitchen here.
There we go. Good lineup there. It's a hard lineup to find sometimes. Okay, so we got our painting. So we basically got just about everything we need from Melee Islands. We're gonna head back to the harbor. And do a little bit of some magic here. And don't forget, note to self. Oop, camera angles, thank you. Remember to hotkey the painting, self. Very important for later. Shoutouts to Bobby from what is that show? I'm King of the Hill, who voices the figurehead here. Okay. Monkey Island games secretly having stacked voice casts, by the way. Also,
yeah,
while we're
talent.
yeah, really quickly, I wanted to mention a comment here from the chat. The original Monkey Island has the turn off and turn on commands that have no utility in the game. Yeah, that's the EGA version of Secret of Monkey Island, which did have the leftover commands for Maniac Mansion, I think is how that worked. King of the Hill is my favorite anime, says one of the chatters. Very good. Okay, we have successfully hotkeyed the painting. This is important because for 2 tricks coming up, we want to have something in our inventory that has a hotkey. And so let's see. We're gonna do one right here. So no pressure. Let's see if I get it. This is the Kasaba skip. So we pull out an item while rowing to the ship, and that lets us just skip right past that little cutscene there.
That's still wild to me as a person who's only run 1.1. That is like the coolest thing to skip that.
Could you help me find?
There we go. And there's
It's a pretty tight window. You need all the boat to be behind the invisible wall when you start taking the item out, and all the boat to be in front of the visible wall when you finish taking the item out.
I better.
So it's not an easy one.
yeah. Once you just get a sense of the timing, though, I don't think it's too bad to get the skip there. Anyways, we're here at what is this called? Anti-pirate school or something?
This and good at
So repeat after me, class. Pirates are bad. Pirates are mean. Pirates are pawn scum. I love this scene. It's so goofy. Okay, so I need to focus here. And you want to tell us why the woofs?
Sure, yeah, so this is you guessed it, more RNG here. We're going to have a prompt from Miss Rivers here, and the goal is to say the most evil piratey thing we possibly can, to sort of be the worst student that we can be. And the prompts are always different, and the ordering of the responses are also random. So you have to kind of be on your toes here. But ultimately, we're looking to get that dunce cap, which is why we're being a bad student. And then we'll also kind of double back and grab another item out of the chest in the back.
There, I got 2 of the hard ones. So one little trick is most of the The bad answers are 2 lines long, but I got 2 of the ones that happen to be the 1 line long, so you have to like make sure you read closely. But we got it there. Playing it a little safe. Don't try this at home, kids.
Never try ball spiral.
I should have let that dialogue play out. We're gonna pull the fire alarm.
The one pitfall that happens here sometimes is when you first start running this game, you can actually see the fire alarm from the little deck out front, and it's extremely tempting to try to like just line that up with Guybrush from here. That way you get the auto run around, but it's almost always worth just running out and around because there's such a high percentage chance you're going to go right back into the school again, and then you just burn time.
So I'm going to do a little bit of a safety strat here. Oop, just kidding. I messed it up. That's fine.
I see you. Take one.
Getting the Guybrush to face the pamphlets on Stan's desk is such a pain in the butt. But we got it there without too much issue. Okay.
That one's so hard to line up correctly.
Oh, get in the door, please, Guybrush. Thank you.
This island's really cool because there are multiple solutions for puzzles. So yeah, Spade's going to be going through kind of the optimal speedrun route, but you can do it in a different way casually, which is pretty cool. And I'm fairly sure that there are runs on the board using the other kind of solutions as well.
Talk to the bartender. There we go. Again, a little tricky lineup there. Accidentally talked to Carla. Carla just having a nice Largo lemonade there.
The thing you said earlier, Wolfs, about there being a lot of development, and it has. This one's changed so much over the last 5 years, but it's still changing quite a bit. There's been talk even of switching the strat here, so we do go with one of the other answers on one of these puzzles and talk to Stan a bit more. So it's still changing quite a lot. It's pretty exciting.
And we have a trick coming up here, by the way. Do you want to explain this next big trick, Casey?
Oh, I think this is quite funny. So there's a puzzle here where
I accidentally went out 2 times.
You've got a mug, and you're not supposed to be able to leave with the mug. You're supposed to have to change it with a separate mug that you've made yourself. But through lack of developer testing or some reason like that, we found that you can actually there is a way you can just put the mug away and leave with the mug straight up. So we don't need to do a lot of the setup for the expected solution for this puzzle. So here we can just pick up the mug and then use a hotkey to take out a different item and then just leave. There's no actual puzzle there anymore.
I talked to the Jolly Pirate. Little bonus content for you there.
It's just so jolly, you know? Can't say no to saying hello.
Okay, one of my favorite characters, Marco de Pollo. Okay, menu here. Do like this. There we go. Just like that.
I just want to say how wild that mug thing is. That is a huge time save, rather than having to get your picture drawn and then get all the pieces together to be able to stick stuff on there and then swap the mugs and all this stuff. Like, definitely want to highlight a ridiculous time save on that. Well, this is done in a specific order as well. Spade put in the bits and pieces into the oil there. And talking to the judges here, kind of in a specific order. This whole section's kind of cleverly put together to try to get the least amount of dialogue and the least amount of actions and animations.
Yes, here we go. So another small bit of RNG here. Coming up momentarily. Let me see. I'm going to do the easy lineup here. I'm going to try to just go right here. Use diving certificate with Marco de Polo. You could walk around, but it can be tricky to get that to be lined up. So for this first dive, we know we're going to lose, so it's not going to matter what we do here. So we're just going to let Marco do whatever, and we're going to do whatever. But what I am going to do, I'm going to switch back over to the other movement, character relative movement, or whatever it's called. And this lets us just hold forward to line up with the diving board. Otherwise, it's just a slightly tricky to get Guybrush to get on there.
That's really nice to see. I love the changing the control system mid-run.
That's some Spade original tech.
Yeah, Spade really pioneered that, and it's just so nice to see.
Hey.
So we examine here. Use this with this guy. Use this with this guy.
I'm back.
Okay, so I have to watch carefully here. We're gonna just go extra slow. Alpha, rum, alpha. Alpha, rum, alpha. Checking my notes. So that's a left, down, left. Left, down, left. Okay. So there's 4 dives, and if you're at Casey's level, you can just recognize the dives by sight. We're not there. So I'm gonna pull out the dunce cap. This is what we got from the pirate school. Left, down, left. Okay, if you see the little trophies on the side, if they're facing up right, that means you got it right. Okay, so we're good. So that's the only dive we need to get perfect. 10s across the board. Okay, so now we actually dive first, and Marco de Pollo has to match us. But he is rigged to fail because we stuck the secret ingredient into his baby seal oil. Okay, so we'll see that here.
I love that just throwing yourself off the cliff on this one just gets you all 10s.
Not the best dive you ever seen.
I mean, it was. That's true.
Perfect. Flawless. Uh-oh. Big splash. So we're actually hunting for some items here. Do you want to explain what that's all about, Casey?
Yeah, we need a golden man, a silver monkey head, and a bronze hat in order to form the ultimate insult. And this is slightly foreshadowing for a later puzzle, but we're aiming to get these ultimate insult pieces together now in order to take on Ozymandias. Or actually, is it just to get it before Ozymandias does, before it slips into the wrong hands, sort of thing?
I think that's the idea.
This is kind of an Indiana Jones situation. It's kind of a race for the power, I think.
Okay, here's a dialogue I've been struggling with in recent history, so I'm going to go make sure I go slow. Okay, and let me pull up the notes here, make sure I got it. Okay, this is 2, 2, 1. There's a little cutscene we skip, and then 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4. Okay, we got it. So now we're going to do some math, and I think we'll turn it over to our resident math expert to explain.
This is full. If we've got any programmers in chat, this is full coding interview style question. We've got 2 parrots. One tells the truth, one lies. We've got 36 boulders on a beach. There's a valuable hat buried under one of the boulders. You have to find your way, asking only north, east, south, or west questions to the boulder. It's a fairly ridiculous setup. But yeah, initially we were just sort of crawling our way along the beach. Now, oh, nice, second boulder.
Wow, that's insane.
Great.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, now we've got a slight sort of algorithm that we follow, that sort of binary search version that we follow to get there as quickly as possible. But even so, second boulder is really fast.
And here we are. It's Monkey Island. We made it. But now we don't like being on Monkey Island, so we must escape from Monkey Island. I love the line delivery Dominic gives anytime he says the title of the game. Oop.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so we're using the banana picker to get some bananas. Who would have thunk it? We got our friend Timmy the monkey here. Go ahead.
First game, you got a banana picker and you don't really use it at all, you know. Whereas in this game, it's just for everything. It's just, everything on the island is banana pickered.
Yeah, it really is. Like it's the crowbar of this game. It's used everywhere.
Oh, Timmy. Timmy trolled me there. I had it lined up. Well, he tried to troll me again. He's running away. What a meanie pants today.
What could be better than a
Guybrush
hot
needs
pot?
his potassium, you know.
Okay. There we go. An extra banana one time for the fans. Shout outs to bananas. Any banana fans in the chat? Hookshot is always top tier. That's true. So a fun little, you want to give, like, pull out the banana on that little ramp down to stop Timmy from being able to run around the whole screen there. It's Herman! Bye, Herman. Okay, we're gonna do another animation layering here. We're gonna try.
This is a very tough one.
There we go.
This is one of the more difficult.
Part 1.
Oh, really nice.
So we open the vent while pulling out the banana. And then I'm gonna close the vent while pulling out the banana. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Whew, okay, we got it.
2 magical bananas.
Not like a gigantic time save, but it's super swag. So you gotta do it every time. Bananas are S-tier fruit, comes with its own packaging. Nice. That's true. And, oh, what do you know? It's the banana picker. We're gonna pull this thingy out of this crazy-looking machine we have down here. And now it's time for everybody's actually least favorite puzzle. It's boulder time, baby. So we gotta toss some rocks around. I'm gonna throw this one to the woofs to explain.
Okay, yeah, this is the worst puzzle, I think, out of this whole series for sure. But basically, we're going to be chucking boulders into different holes and then waiting for the boulder to roll across some of these roots that are there. When the root wiggles, that's when you want to throw the next boulder. Casually, this can take quite a while because you need to sort of path out exactly where these things go. So there's the wiggle, another boulder in there, and then here's the extra layer. They need to run into each other at certain times. So one's going to jump out here. And ultimately, we need our final boulder to end up in the lava pit to the north. And that'll allow us to get access to the other part of Monkey Island. But yeah, that's the one on the left. And then we should have 2 boulders shooting out here down the middle, which is our ultimate goal here. You can take forever casually trying to figure this thing out, because it is it's certainly one of the puzzles of all time.
Yeah, but looks like we got through it without too much issue. Okay, look what it is. It's the banana picker. And good luck trying to figure out that this is an item you need to pick up in the game casually. There's these little...
Yeah.
The game calls them shields
I actually get to
there.
use this banana picker more than once.
But we're gonna find out what they're really used for in a minute or so. Okay, slow bit of dialogue here. This is... What's his name? Father Rasputin or something? This is the
Yeah, I think
first
that's
Church
right.
of LeChuck Orthodox? Is that what it's called? Keep me honest here.
Yeah, I think that's the title. Yeah,
So
this guy
LeChuck is the overarching antagonist of the entire series of Monkey Island games. But doesn't kind of like come into play until a little bit later in the game. Okay, tricky puzzle here.
I do love these the like jagged versions of these stained glass windows. Yeah, this puzzle is very difficult setup though. All
Okay,
good.
looks good, and I have the banana picker out.
This is random for those watching. It's not the same puzzle every time. The bottle will land in a different place, and the placement of the logs in the way are different. So you do need to kind of parse out
Banana picker's
exactly
really
where you
starting
need
to
to
come in handy.
ride to.
Yeah, if you need to, you can like open up the inventory to pause the flow of time. But because we're speedrunners, we want to ideally do it without stopping.
I do like the microwave tomato cheese looking lava as well. Pretty nice texture.
Pairs
Yeah.
well with the spaghetti-o inside of the manatee from Tales of Monkey Island later on.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
One second here, and we'll let this line play out a little bit.
Back the lava goes, back to the earth from whence it came.
There we go. Nice. So here it comes. We've arrived at the time known as monkey combat. Okay.
No way to avoid it.
If only.
All right, let me get my notes ready here.
Greetings. Welcome.
We're gonna go a little slow here because there's some information I need to get out of this dialogue.
There, the ch-
Gonna play this extra safe here.
and the drug. Each of the for
The bobbing baboon defeats the
anxious ape.
anxious ape. Okay.
So yes, there's a free in all these eek, ack, oop, and for example,
EOA. EOA. Remember that? EOA. I'm gonna pull out the shields, but as it turns out, it's more like little hand symbols. Can write this down. EOA. So it's probably time to start talking about this whole monkey combat thing. Casey, you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So this is, it's sort of like rock, paper, scissors, only there's 5 positions, so it's more rock, paper, scissors, lizard, spark. But also you don't know what beats what, that's random. Also, you can't just be in a position, you have to move between positions, and how you do that is also random. So there's a lot of pen and paper tech during this. People find it, playing casually, it's very frustrating.
Yes.
You have to learn pretty much everything before you can win. We've got some different strategies and techniques that we use in the speedrun, such as this saving and loading that Spade is doing now. There's also some probability in there. Some insults are more likely than others, and so you can sort of play the probabilities a bit and guess things that are more likely to be the correct insult than things which aren't. But at the end of the day, we've managed to speed it up somewhat, but it's still pretty formidable part of the run. It's still pretty nasty coming up to it. It's quite scary to try and overcome, quite difficult.
I think I got it. Well, it gave me a freebie too, so this should be, now that I'm ready to go, this should be a quick fight. Oh, and he threw again. What a nice monkey. Our marathon luck has flipped on its head, and he draws. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. That's gonna make it so we need two moves to beat him here, because he regenerates 1 health. Okay, from here we go AOC. So the first,
while
yeah, go
running, Spade will be furiously writing down with his other hand what moves go between which positions, and also which positions beat which other positions. There's a lot of furious note taking alongside the speedrunning at this point. It's quite, I don't know how unique that is for speedrunning. I find it quite strange.
Okay, so 1 monkey down. So we'll be fighting 1 more of the random monkeys in a minute, but since we're over here, there's 1 more kind of quest we need to finish on Monkey Island before we're able to escape from Monkey Island. So we gotta go back and talk to our good buddy Herman Toothrot.
Wow, that tree just fell right over.
That tree just fell right over.
You got the controversial lore drop coming in.
Yeah, this is a choice for sure. Action.
Oh,
All right,
Herman?
time to start throwing things at Herman Toothrot. First, the coconut. Do the milk bottle.
Herman, where?
The game can act a little strangely if you do this out of order.
Oh,
So being just a little bit safe.
where?
Clonk. Okay. So we're good. We're good to go. We did it. I'm just gonna have a nice sit on the log. That was nice.
Quick, get.
Okay. Get this crucial item here. Skip the cutscene. I'm just gonna put this away now. So we're looking, the next monkey we're looking for we're gonna run back over, is the strapping monkey. Let's see here.
Yeah, the monkeys basically move up in difficulty as based on their names. So yeah, the path that we're taking, we can do this in two monkeys. Two particular monkeys will allow us access here.
On go.
EOA, DM. Okay, I already had that one. Let's see. Save again. There's gonna be a lot of saving and loading here. Let me see here. Sun anxious. I can actually get a hit in here by going over here. So let's get it started here. Let's see where he goes from Anxious Ape. EOA. I already had that one. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna just get some hits in while I can. But we're still missing quite a bit of information here, so we're hoping to see some new stuff, slash... Alright, so we're kind of stuck in triangle number 1. So I'm gonna try and break out of triangle number 1. Let's see here. He's on baboon. So we're gonna guess and try and find some of the in-betweeners. It's not that one. Let's do AEO.
Excellent.
AEO. But it was a bad hit, so I'm gonna reload. But we learned that information. And we also saw that Bobbing Baboon beat... Oh, I already knew that. Okay, let me try this one. No. Let's see. I think I need my ACs. AC. Oh. No, maybe Ace? Okay. Not lucky. Let me see if I can hit him out of this position and find some other potential ones.
Yeah, there are more A first insults, A combinations, movements than any other starter, which is kind of interesting. And Casey, I know you did a little bit of a write-up on that on the SRC board.
AOC, B beat.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I already had that one. He draws with me again.
I think we got lucky. I think one of the developers got their maths slightly wrong when programming it, and so everything's supposed to be the same probability, but actually the act starters, ones that start with A, are much more likely than anything else. So when we guess there, we guess ACE, AEC, AOE, all those combinations before anything else.
He draws again. All right. Not ideal, but if they draw enough times, it usually puts the health in your favor, and you do need something to put your health in your favor to win these fights. Okay, let's see here. I might do another. Try to find something here. Not Ace. Let's see. What am I missing? AOE. DM to GG. There it is. AOE. DM does defeat Gimpy Giddem. EOA. Let me go back. So we found something, but it's not a good position for us. Let's see. So that beats that. So if I go EOA, let's get into another position here.
Nice.
Get a hit in. EOC. DM. I had that one already. It's gonna hit me. So let's see here. Can I get from here? Where is Ace? It's not there. What else am I missing? Okay, I have to be careful here if I load too many times. Let's see. AEC? AEC. Interesting. And charging chimp. No, AEO. Let's see, what was that one? Charging chimp. Beats Gimpy Gibbon. Was that right? Did anybody catch that?
Yeah, Charging Chimp, or I should say Gimpy Gibbon beats Charging Chimp, I believe. And then the last one was AA beats GG.
Okay, thank you. It's a lot of
Casey.
stuff to keep track of here sometimes. We're a little low on health, so I'm getting a little nervous here. Let's see. Sorry. It's too early for me to think quickly through Monkey Combat, so bear with me here. He's on Anxious Ape. Let's see. So this...
It's really easy to get turned around while you're kind of parsing through this stuff because, you know, as has been said, it's different every time you come into this. And then, because I don't know, there's just so many combinations of things going on.
Missing all my stuff, so I need to guess.
The brain melting section of the game.
Ace. I'm still missing.
Eek, ow!
Not Ace. What else am I missing? Do I have ACO yet? There it is. That's what I needed.
Nice. Yeah, it is a pretty formidable section, and coming right at the end of the run as well.
Okay, we're a little bit of a pickle here. We're probably going to need a save scum to get a favorable outcome, or else we're going to die. Drunken Monkey. OAE.
Oop, eek!
I'm going to hit him. We're going to safety save.
Yeah, the monkey draws its move just before that, so you can kind of save scum this if you need to.
EOA, DM to Anxious Ape. There we go. Perfect.
Nice.
Okay. It worked out.
Brilliant.
Good.
Okay, now the final
monkey.
boss. Let's see. What am I missing? I'm only missing a couple of the transitional insults. Just to be expected.
Hello again.
Okay, really cool strat here.
This is great.
Let's
I really like watching
Take
this.
it, Casey. AOE, GG to DM.
Yeah, this is a strat that makes it look like Frozen Spade just doesn't know what he's doing. It will look like you're losing completely. But we don't actually know why this works. If you almost lose completely and then pull it around right at the end, the game will do something very surprising. I have no idea why it was coded this way, why this even works. This was discovered a few years back, and it's pretty great.
Okay, we're gonna go down to 1 banana, but watch carefully here. DM. What is this? 2. I'm gonna safety save, just to make sure I don't
Looks like he
mess
doesn't
this
have a
up.
chance.
Brain, work with me here. So I'm looking for... So not that one. I'm looking for... this one. AEC. Skadoosh all the way down to 1 banana. And he's gonna draw here. Always
Monkey Island
draws.
moment 37.
Yeah. We're gonna Bobbing Baboon. So AOC should put us on Drunken Monkey, which beats Bobbing Baboon. Bob's your uncle. There we go. Okay. JoJo Jr. down. But we're not done with Monkey Combat just yet. We'll come back to that in a second. But the hard part, one of the hard parts is done. We did it. Whew, okay. So we're actually doing a pretty good pace here, considering all the marathon safety slowness. Little slide there one time for the fans. But we have... So we're constructing another ultimate insult here. So we have our silver monkey head. We have our bronze hat, which we won from the Monkey Combat. And our golden man, as it turns out, is the banana picker in the nose.
The casual toss of the hat on top of the monkey is like one of my favorite animations. It's so absurd. It's like a backhand frisbee throw up there.
Act 3+, Guybrush kicks unusually large butt. Now we're piloting a giant monkey Zord. A little puzzle here. That was pretty straightforward.
Casey, I think you were the one who pointed this out initially, but like isn't the ongoing theory with this little island here is that it was like a dev sandbox, basically? There's really no other explanation for it.
It looks really weird as an island, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got slow movement. You can't really do anything, but yeah.
So tiny micro RNG here. This button. There we go. Okay, so one more monkey combat. So actually what we need to do is draw 3 times. We're going to purposefully not win. So E, O, A. Inputs are pretty slow, so we're going to be careful here. So that's 1 draw. We need to draw 3 times. So it's going to put us in a new position here. So we need Drunken Monkey to Charging Chimp, which is EOC.
This is why, like, kind of gathering as many moves as you can in that first section is really imperative, because you can sometimes get through monkey combat pretty quickly, but if you don't have all the info, it'll come back to bite you here.
Okay, GG to DM is AOE. And we are so close to being done with the run.
I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy.
I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy.
I think it's not easy.
Well, God.
And that's time.
And it was that easy. Look at that.
We did it. All right. Good
Nice.
job, everybody. That's
Jeez,
yeah, that's
GG.
Escape from Monkey Island. So we're nicely underestimate, but I had to account for any disastrous game crashes or things of that nature. Because as old as this game is, it can be pretty tricky to run on a Windows 11 machine. Because we are not playing the PS2 version of the game, which is, going to be nice and stable. However, it is also nice and slow. Not just because it's lacking some of the tricks, but just because the load times are pretty substantial compared to running it on a modern PC. But really quickly, I want to turn it over to the couch. The Cool Kids commentary crew, that's 4Ks. Do you want any shout-outs really quick?
I'll quickly just shout out the Speedy Adventures community. If you're interested in learning a run like this, I can understand why you wouldn't want to play Escape from Monkey Island as a speedrun, but there's plenty of other cool adventure games out there as well. There's a whole community of us folks out there running all kinds of different games, so that's a good place to start your journey if you're interested.
Yeah, specifically, I want to add on one more point to that. So the Speedy Adventures Discord is one of the main hubs for Monkey Island speedruns specifically. Other communities will have their, within the adventure game genre, some of them have their own Discords as well. But yeah, if you're interested in talking Monkey Island speedruns, come by the Speedy Adventures Discord. You can find the link on any of the Monkey Island SRC pages. Should have the link ready to go. Casey, anything you want to add?
Nah, just Speedy Adventures all the way. If you want to run any of them, any Monkey Island game, any Full Throttle, Day of the Tentacle, any of that stuff, if you want to run it, there'll always be people in that community there watching your runs, talking about the runs. It's fantastic community.
All right, very good. And I think that's it for me for today. I will actually be back later in the week to speedrun another LucasArts game known as Star Wars Yoda Story. So stay tuned for that. And this has been Monkey Island. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.